Hey guys, so this is just going to be a quick video about simplifying index numbers when you have an index number inside a pair of brackets, or as Americans say, parentheses. I realized that I forgot to cover this index law, so I thought before going on to fractional exponents, I better clear this one up. Let's do a simple example to start off with. Let's say we have 2 cubed, and then we're going to square this 2 cubed. So we're going to have 2 cubed in brackets squared. If you're American and watching this, just know that every time I say brackets, I mean parentheses. Okay, so 2 cubed squared. What does this mean exactly? This is some indexception crap going on here. Normally we have a base and an exponent, but now we have 2 exponents. Let's try breaking it down a little bit and seeing if we can tackle it from there. If this 2 is our exponent or power, then this 2 cubed is our base. So this means we're going to have 2 cubes multiplied together, right? Okay, so far so good. Well, from my last video, we now know how to proceed when we're multiplying index numbers with the same base. All we need to do is add the exponents. So we'll get 2 to the power of 3 plus 3 equals 6. So 2 cubed squared is equal to 2 to the power of 6. We started off with just 2 cubed, just 3 2's multiplied together. But then along came this 2 that's like, hold up, we're not finished yet. We need to double the amount of multiplication going on here. So we ended up with 2 to the power of 3 times 2. This is called the index law for powers, and it goes like this. If you have a to the power of m in brackets, and then you raise that to the nth power, you're going to have a to the power of m times n. If you're still in doubt, we can show how it works the long way. If we have 3 to the power of 4 and cubed, how many 3's are being multiplied together? Well, 3 to the power of 4 is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, and if we cube that, we'll have 3 times 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 3. Altogether, we'll have 12 3's multiplied together. So 3 to the power of 4 cubed gives us 3 to the power of 12. Notice how if you multiply the exponents, 4 times 3 is equal to 12? There's one more level to this index law, and it's what happens when you have 2 or more index numbers inside the brackets. Suppose you have 2 squared times 3 in brackets cubed. If we write this out the long way, we'll get 2 squared times 3 times 2 squared times 3 times 2 squared times 3, right? We can rearrange this slightly because multiplication is commutative, so we can show this as 2 squared times 2 squared times 2 squared times 3 times 3 times 3. If we use the index law for multiplication, we'll get 2 to the power of 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6 times 3 cubed. So 2 squared times 3 in brackets cubed is equal to 2 to the power of 6 times 3 cubed. Now our index law for powers tells us that we can take a shortcut when we're calculating index numbers that are in brackets. We can simply multiply the exponent outside the bracket with the one inside the bracket. And we can actually do this in this example as well. We just have to make sure we're doing it to all the index numbers inside the brackets. So we would get 2 to the power of 2 times 3 times 3 to the power of 1 times 3. That gives us our answer of 2 to the power of 6 times 3 to the power of 3. So the longer version of this index law is if you have multiple index numbers inside a pair of brackets, all you have to do is multiply the exponent outside the brackets with all of the exponents inside the brackets. And this also works when you have a fractional base too. Let's say we have 4 over 5 squared, and the whole thing is going to be squared again. We can use the index law to work this out. The exponent outside the bracket is 2, so we just multiply this 2 with all of the exponents inside the brackets. This 4 has an exponent or power of 1, so 1 times 2 equals 2. And this 5 has an exponent of 2, so 2 times 2 equals 4. 4 over 5 squared, in brackets, squared, is equal to 4 squared over 5 to the power of 4. And if you wanted to prove it, writing it out the long way gives you the exact same answer. Basically, if there's no exponent on the inside, you can just write the outside exponent in, and if there are exponents on the inside, all you have to do is multiply the outside exponent with the inside ones. One last thing to note, this index law, like all of them really, works the other way around as well. If we have 2 squared times 3 squared, this is really the same as saying 2 times 3, in brackets, squared. It's exactly the same. Either way, we're going to have 2 2's multiplied together and 2 3's multiplied together. And if we work out the answer, it's going to be the same for both. Try a few questions on your own and see if you can handle the index law for powers. That's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I'll see you next time at Sneezy Teachers. Bye!